Melody.
Hi, I'm just trying to figure out the slide share thing here.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm just trying to figure out how to share my screen.
Yeah. Welcome to the Global Virtual Summit 2025, Melody.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Welcome to the Global Virtual Summit 2025, Melody.
Okay. I just need to figure out how to share the screen.
Yeah, Melody, before going to your session, I would like to introduce you to our audience.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out how to do the slide share thing here. How do I get this slide to work?
Melody,
how do I share this? Pardon? How do I share my slides without having the whole, just the slides pop up? You know what I'm saying? Okay, hang on. I just want the slides. I don't want all the other stuff with it, if that makes sense. I've never used PowerPoint before, so I'm not very good at how do I? From beginning. Okay, fine, whatever, we're good, I guess.
Melody, before going to the section, I would like to introduce you to our audience, Melody.
Okay, give me 1 second. I'm trying to figure out the slideshow thing. Slideshow. Okay, go.
Melody Whiteley is a retired Navy cryptologist and a Russian linguist who has become a best-selling author, mindset coach, and business strategist. She empowers women over 40 to regain their overconfidence and build impactful, purpose-driven businesses. As a certified mindset coach and social media marketing expert, she combines thoughtful strategy with smart systems for a sustainable growth. She is founder of Robot Tribe and author of Getting to S and You Are Not Only a Fraud. Melodian missions is to help others stay free, norms ditch the hustle, and create a life of business that's truly aligned with who they are. That was a wonderful bio and inspiring bio, Melodian, and the stage is yours.
Okay, and she's trying to figure out how to share her slides. I've got like everything in the sun up there, don't I? Hang on. I am proof positive that even at my age, you can screw up the tech. Okay. Stop sharing. I'm going to figure this out. Hello, Melinda. I'm trying to figure out how to share the screen. I mean, I'm sharing. Okay, share the screen. Share your screen. Window. Where are my slides? Give me 1 second. Apparently, I closed them out. Wrong ones. I apologize. I had them up here and now they're gone.
Hello, Melody.
Yes.
Could you please?
Can you hear me okay?
Click on the share button, which is symbol of up arrow.
Yep. Oh. Okay.
Hello, Melody.
Uh-huh. Yep, I got it. Can you see them?
Yes, Melody. Please proceed with your presentation.
All right. Thank you. Yeah. Sorry for the confusion, but text still has a tendency to baffle me from time to time. So thank you, Melinda, for being so patient while I figured out the slide thing. It's still not perfect because I'm not very proficient with PowerPoint, but we go on because that's what we do. So good morning, and thank you everyone for being here. It's also very, very early in the morning here, so bear with me because I haven't even had my second cup of coffee. So before I dive in, let me tell you a little bit about myself, some things that just might surprise you. And so as Melinda said, I'm a retired Navy cryptologist. I'm also a Russian linguist. And I probably earned more than a few commendations during my career. After I retired from the Navy, I spent several years within the biotech industry. I'm a best-selling author. I'm a woman who built a 25-year-old business on a dirt road with limited Wi-Fi and just pure grit. So I'm not exactly an underachiever. And yet I've questioned myself more times than I would like to admit. Why? Because I didn't fit the typical success formula mold. And I'm already behind on the slides. Like many women, I battled imposter syndrome. Now, you know what I'm talking about. It's that little voice in the back of your head that whispers, "Who do you think you are?" Even after a lifetime of achievements. I struggled to find my place in a world of business and marketing gurus. I mean, I came out of the military, and cryptology and linguistics, so I really struggled to find my place in that whole world where the experts were always questioning my expertise and knowledge, telling me I had to hustle harder or show up a certain way or follow the formula. And if I didn't, I'd fail. So of course, I did what any woman in my place would do. I did things my way. I stopped listening to the people who made me question my instincts and started asking a new question. What if success doesn't have to hurt? And that is how the Rebel Way was born. As entrepreneurs, we're told we need six-figure funnels, perfect morning routines, constant content, viral videos. As women, we're told we should look a certain way, dress a certain way, even think a certain way. We're told we're too fat, we're too thin, we're too young, we're too old, we're too educated, not educated enough. I've even been told I was overqualified and then underqualified in the same interview. The list is endless. And we spend years feeling like we're either too much or not enough. Well, I say it's time that we return to ourselves. The burnout question, the burnout epidemic, it isn't about doing too much. It's about doing too much of the wrong things for the wrong reasons. We build businesses, heck, we build our lives chasing blueprints instead of clarity. We follow trends instead of our truth. We're told we need to niche down until we barely recognize what we wanted to do in the first place. And when it doesn't work, we blame ourselves, of course. So let me be clear. You are not the problem. The system is the problem. The marketing industrial complex thrives on keeping us confused and chasing that next big fix. All we have to do is buy this thing, join that thing, and we will finally be perfect. And this is where imposter syndrome takes root. Not because you're a fraud, not because you're too much or not enough, but because you're operating in an environment designed to make you feel that way. We confuse discomfort with inauthenticity. It's not that you don't belong, it's that you've outgrown your comfort zone and it feels unfamiliar. Imposter syndrome affects over 70% of high-achieving women, including CEOs, doctors, educators, creatives, and even entrepreneurs like us. In fact, studies show that women are far more likely than men to internalize self-doubt. We attribute our success to luck, to timing, or help from others instead of our own competence. Imposter syndrome has a sneaky habit of showing up right when we're leveling up, when we're launching a new offer, or raising our rates, or stepping into the spotlight, or doing anything that dares to push us out of our comfort zone. Growth tends to rattle the old stories we tell ourselves. And that's exactly when the fraud feelings love to creep in. It convinces us that we are a fluke, that we're one mistake away from being found out, and that at any moment someone will realize we don't belong. So let me tell you a quick story because it has a lot of bearing on this morning when I couldn't get the slides to work. A few years ago, that would have just sent me into a tailspin. But the first time I ever spoke at a business event, I opened my speech with a question I was sure no one in the audience was going to know the answer. But of course, someone did. And it threw me completely off my planned presentation. As I tried to recalibrate in my head how to proceed, I looked up towards the back of the room. This was a big marketing conference. And there in the back of the room, I saw them. 3 of the biggest names in marketing. They were standing together, heads huddled, whispering, and then they all turned and they looked directly at me. And then they just went back to talking. But in that moment, I knew I didn't just lose my place in the speech. I lost my confidence. I just knew what they were saying. Who is this woman? Why is she here? She doesn't belong here. She's a fake. And just like that, I spiraled. I completely lost my train of thought. And the speech, well, it was a disaster. That's how imposter syndrome works. It doesn't matter how much you've done or how prepared you are. It hijacks your mind and makes you question everything. I mean, I was ready. I had prepared. I had the credentials. But imposter syndrome was still enough to send me spiraling. I knew in my heart they were right. I didn't belong there. Fortunately, I now have a different way of thinking. Imposter syndrome isn't a flaw. It's a sign you're growing beyond the box they put you in. It's not a warning. It's not a sign that you're faking it. It's a signal that you're expanding beyond your old identity. You are not a fraud. You are a woman who is redefining what success looks like on your own terms. You're stepping into new territory without a roadmap. And that's courage. That is not deception. So let me ask you something. How many of you, show of hands, how many of you have ever stayed quiet even though you knew the answer? Either just drop a little chat in a little yes in the chat or what. But how many of you have ever stayed quiet? Nobody? That's amazing. How many of you have ever held back because you felt like you didn't belong? Wow, we've got a bunch of strong women in this group. That's fabulous. Good for you. If you have, trust me, you are not alone. And you're not a failure. And that's exactly why we need your voice now more than ever. Oh, and incidentally, the marketers, the big guys in the back of the room, they weren't talking about me at all. They just happened to glance up to see who had actually known the answer to my question. They apparently didn't expect anyone to have the answer either. But that just proves my point. I've spiraled out of control for no reason at all. Confidence isn't something you wait to feel. It's something you build by acting and speaking and leading, even when you're afraid. That's the foundation for my book, You Are Not a Fraud. And it's also a core part of the Rebel Way. The world doesn't need another filtered, polished, over-rehearsed voice. It needs yours. Messy, honest, and brilliant you. So what exactly is the Rebel Way? Well, let's break it down. The Rebel Way is a 5-part framework designed to help you grow a business and a life that actually feels good while still being wildly effective. R is for reclaim your power. This is where it starts. Rebuilding your confidence. Ditching people-pleasing. Letting go of old stories that no longer serve you. Your voice matters. Your story is powerful. Your purpose is valid. Think of a moment, I want y'all to just think of a moment where you doubted yourself and then you did the thing anyway. That's reclaiming your power. If you need some practical tools, journaling prompts, morning mindset resets, learning how to say no without guilt. Remember, ladies, no is a complete sentence. The foundation is claiming you. E is for embrace soulful strategy. This is about vision and alignment. No more one-size-fits-all business models. You build a strategy that honors your values and your strengths. We get clear on where you're going and why it matters. We use vision mapping, core value assessments, and intuitive planning. Because strategy without soul is just another to-do list. How many of you have ever followed someone else's strategy, even though it didn't feel quite right, but you did it just because it worked for them. Soulful strategy isn't about copying. It's about creating a plan that actually fits your life and your energy and your values. Okay. B is for build systems that serve you. Yes, I love systems. I love tech. I haven't used PowerPoint in a while, but I love tech. And I love my systems, but I don't want the kind that enslave me. We don't want to use the kind of systems that enslave us. I teach systems that create space in your life. So automation, delegation, routines that restore you instead of depleting you. And yes, that includes smart tools like AI. When used with intention, AI can help you streamline content and simplify decisions and take some of that mental load off your plate. It's not about replacing your voice. It's about amplifying your energy and giving you more space to focus on what really matters. You don't need a 100-hour week. You just need a structure that holds your dreams without crushing your joy. E is for expand with confidence. This is where you become visible, but in a way that feels authentic. You don't need to go viral, okay? You do need to connect. So whether that's through writing or speaking or video or something entirely your own. We talk about ethical marketing, storytelling. Your story is important. Your story matters. Magnetic messaging that doesn't require manipulation. And this is confidence in action. And finally, L is for lead the life you want. Because success without freedom isn't success. What's the point if you're too exhausted to enjoy it? We talk about designing a life that feels joyful and intentional and deeply yours. We set boundaries. We schedule rest. We reclaim our health, our time, and our energy. Because you are the CEO of your life. And isn't that why we started our businesses in the first place? To have freedom? This framework isn't just strategy. It's self-respect in action. It isn't about adding more. It's about shedding what was never yours to carry. So I don't care what the experts and the gurus say anymore. I care about what we as women want. We want a business that aligns with our lives. We want clients that we actually enjoy working with. We want confidence to speak and lead and serve without shrinking. You don't have to hustle harder. You just have to come home to yourself. So if you remember nothing else from today, remember this. God did not put that dream in your heart by accident. He's not done with you, so don't disqualify yourself. Your story is valid. Your voice is powerful. And your version of success is more than enough. The Rebel Way is more than a framework. We're creating a movement. And if you're ready to read that in your own life, then I hope today was the spark. So according to my clock, I've gone over my time, so I'm just gonna finish up here. If today's message spoke to you, I'd love to stay connected. So please reach out to me on Facebook, Instagram. I have a new website coming up, but it's not quite there yet. So right now, grab me on Facebook or Instagram. I have a podcast, and I am always looking for amazing women to guest on my podcast. Feel free to grab a copy of my book, of course. You Are Not a Fraud, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, all the places. Just remember, I'm always cheering you on, and I would be honored to be part of your rebel journey. So let's rewrite the rules for women together. Thank you. And I see I have some questions. How does the Rebel Way redefine success for women over 40 in today's high pressure business world? Yes, everything that I just mentioned. Anybody want to guess? I'm knocking on the front door of 70, okay? So every time I hear women over 40 struggling, it just winds me up, because I am almost 70, and everything I have done since I left the military was pretty much from my 60s on. I wrote my first book at 60, and it was a bestseller. So age doesn't matter. And I think as we get older, we begin to understand that it doesn't really, what society thinks of us doesn't matter. It's what do we think of ourselves? What do our families think of ourselves, think of us? What do our friends think of us? And nobody else matters. And that takes a little bit of, I think, age and experience to get to that point. So if you're over 40, it's time for you to just step up and say you're going to do it your way.
Hello, Melody.
Hello.
Yeah, Aliana is one of our speaker. She want to ask you a question.
Okay.
Aliana, please proceed with your question.
Yes, hi, Melody. And I was thrilled to hear your story and your success, and I'm truly inspired. And I just wanted to, maybe if possible, to share with us one of those most difficult moments that you had, challenges. Like, what was your, maybe a formula that you can share with us, some 3 key elements that have, bring you back, gave you that confidence, you overcame that imposter syndrome, something on the spot that you had to reinvent yourself and move forward. Thank you.
Okay, well, I've been dealing with the fact of the age for a long time. When I first decided to get online and join the online marketing, digital marketing world, I had a lot of people looking at me kind of side-eyed because of my age. What do I know about tech? I didn't grow up with any of this stuff. And that was a challenge. And I admit that was a challenge for me because I didn't grow up with any of this. I'm pre-internet generation. So I had a lot to learn, but I just put myself down and decided I was going to learn it. But as far as how do you overcome imposter syndrome, I'm going to be totally honest with you. For all those people all those books and everything out there that say, oh, you can overcome it, you never truly overcome it. It is something that happens to you as a child. Something in your childhood has triggered this lack of confidence, and you don't ever really truly overcome it. It will always have the tendency to crop up at certain times. What you do learn is how to manage it. And you do that by all the things I talked about. You learn to build the systems that are going to support you. You learn to build the strategies that fit your life and your needs. You learn to just go forth with that confidence and know that you're doing what's best for you. You're doing what's best for your family. It takes a little time and it takes a lot of work. The more often that you just step out in that confidence that you're doing the right thing, the easier it gets. But even like today, there was a moment when those slides at that window going, that is not what I wanted. And it's still there in the back of my mind going, you're still not very techie, are you? but I just learned to step forward anyway.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing, and you're absolutely right. I think it's just ongoing life situations, because we never know what's next around the corner. And as you said, building those over time, it's nice, but we can't anticipate what's coming ahead of us. So thank you so much for sharing and responding to all my questions. And I'd love to stay in touch with you, and just amazing presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you,
yes, I
Alyona.
look
Thank you
forward
for
to,
your valuable time.
Thank you.
Yeah. Melody.
Yes. Done.
Hello, Melody. That was a fantastic